Have you ever had a season where you're waking up early, staying up late, grinding, day in and day out, body exhausted, stomach queasy with anxiety? Because even though you're putting everything that you have, blood, tears, snot, into making your dream a reality, nothing seems to be happening. Hi, I'm Tasha, and today I want to talk a little bit about building in the dark. That season where you're doing the work, you're getting up early, staying up late, but there's just silence. Nothing to show for it yet. So a little bit about me. By day, I'm an estimator. So I pretty much stare at blueprints all day. But the rest of the time, early mornings and weekends, I'm a writer working on my first essay collection. I'm in my mid-40s, and this decade has just cracked something open for me. This whole identity thing. Working toward becoming a published author in this stage of my life has been a humbling experience. Looking back on the things I've lived through and survived has felt like watching a horror film on repeat. But through the writing, through actually sitting down and being honest on the page, I've started noticing how many untruths I'd been fed. And not just me, all women. Stuff about what a fulfilling life is supposed to look like. The marriage, the kids, a secure 9-to-5, a 401k. And for a long time, I tried to make the pieces fit. But they always felt awkward, like I was walking around in someone else's underwear. So this channel is a continuation of that unlearning. I started it for women like me, women who are ready to live off script and write their own rules. About a month into this year, I started waking up covered in sweat, in a panic. And this time, it wasn't from perimenopause. In January, I decided I wanted a quantum leap year. Not just casually pushing the needle forward, but balls to the wall, no days off kind of energy. And for the first few weeks, it flowed. Words were pouring onto the page. I was constantly hitting PRs at the gym. It finally felt like something had clicked after months of feeling stuck. And then I crashed. Not physically, but mentally. My mind just started racing. How am I going to get all of this done? Am I doing enough? Am I doing too much? And what gives me the audacity to think that I can do any of this? And instead of sitting in that discomfort, I ran to dating apps. And it wasn't even about wanting to meet someone. It was about wanting relief. Relief from whatever insecurity had surfaced because I had stretched myself past what felt safe. Because here's the thing nobody tells you. Nobody talks about what it actually feels like to build in the dark. When there's no applause, no one checking in, no visible proof, just you, your doubt, and the silence. And I'm starting to think this season isn't really about the goals at all. It's about who you become in the process when no one's watching. Because self-belief isn't something you get from writing your goals down. It's built in the daily reps, showing up when the doubt is loud, when you're tired and you don't think you can survive another day. So, if you're watching this, I want you to actually think about the season that you're in. Maybe for you, it's a divorce, or starting a business, moving across the country, rebuilding a life that actually looks like the woman you are today, instead of the woman that you used to be. Because maybe nobody around you knows how hard your life has been for the last few months. I mean, I've cried almost every other day, sweated through my sheets some nights. I'm so scared of the goal I have set that my heart is literally racing. And I'm starting to understand that the fear is a part of the season, not a sign that something is wrong. You see, when you're reaching for more, your identity starts to shift under you. And right before the breakthrough, your old identity starts swinging. Becoming costs, and most of what it costs, nobody sees. Sleepless nights, early mornings, Saturday nights home alone. You see, social media only shows you the vacations, the dream house, the car. Nobody sees the night on the bathroom floor where you're wondering if any of your hard work is even worth it or going to pay off in the long run. And nobody talks about how lonely the in-between is, because you're not who you used to be, but you're also not yet who you're becoming. You've outgrown the friendships that only worked when you shrank, but you haven't fully arrived at the ones you'll have when you get to where you're going. You've outgrown the version of you that's settled, but you're not yet the version that's fully confident. So for a while, you're drifting. Somewhere between who you were and who you're building. And that space, unfortunately, doesn't come with a built-in community. Most days, it doesn't even come with company. And that's the part nobody prepares you for. I know I wasn't prepared for it. Not the hard work, but the painstaking isolation of it. So if you're building in the dark right now here too, here's what's been helping me. The first thing that I've done is I've started paying attention to what I reach for when it gets uncomfortable. Because for me, it's dating apps. But for you, it might be your phone, video games, Netflix, or even food. And the second thing I've done is I find a sentence I can repeat to myself. When the doubt gets loud, mine goes something like, I'm embracing visibility so I can create more financial resources for myself and help empower other women. Yours might be about your kids, or peace, or just not dying with your dream stuck inside you. And the last thing I've done is I've started tracking the wins nobody else can see, because the outside stuff doesn't show up on your timeline. So instead, I've been asking, did I go to the gym after a brutal workday? Did I make the call? Did I not buy the thing so I can invest in my future self? Halfway through this year, I can honestly say I'm not the same woman who started it. Doubt visits, but it doesn't sleep over anymore. I guard my energy differently too. If a man's energy feels off in the slightest bit, I don't rationalize. I just leave. There haven't been huge external shifts yet, but I can feel myself changing underneath it. And somehow, that's been enough to outweigh how uncomfortable this whole season is. So if you're building in silence too, I just want to say, keep going. You owe yourself that much. There's a version of you on the other side of this, and she's being built right now in the dark, but you can't see her yet. So tell me, what are you building in the dark right now? Drop it in the comments below. And if you've fallen off track, or you're still waiting for permission to build the thing that you've been dreaming about, I encourage you to think about what you can build over the last 6 months of 2026. What new dream can you tap into? So please subscribe if you haven't already, if you're ready to live off script. I'll see you in the next video. But until then, burn loudly, stay wild.